Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode here in the Survival Heights Season 2 Amplified Hardcore Single Player Survival World. In the previous episode, as many of you remember, we ventured into this hallway in front of me, which I'll explain these updates in just a minute, and we built ourselves some sugarcane farms, and it's been going pretty well. I've been doing some edits around here, letting this farm kind of run, and if we check out the sugarcane farm that we have down in here, you'll see, oh yes, we have almost 2 full double chests full of sugarcane. I've actually taken a little bit out of this as well, so it's coming along pretty nicely. I'm really enjoying how this is going, and it's going to give us lots of sugarcane for hopefully many more episodes to come. But as you could tell, we have been doing some work around here. You can tell by the day count as well. I'll go over some of the other details in just a minute. But the main thing that we've been doing, as you can tell, in the ceiling here, leaves, we got ourselves some of the glow berries as well, the hanging lanterns, all of it is coming together pretty nicely. And down here, worked on the wall a little bit, put in all the glass. As soon as you get connected textures back, I recently updated to 1.19.3. You can kind of see it. I did get a comment last episode about what mods I use. Technically this world is not completely vanilla anymore. The gameplay definitely still is, but I have some optimization mods and things like that. Stuff like sodium, stuff to run shaders, things like that that I have added. That's why I typically run fabric, and that's why connected textures aren't here right now, but I'll get that in a little bit. Not a huge priority right now. The other main piece of feedback that I asked from you all last episode was about these pillars here, and I did decide to go with, and it was the most commented thing I believe, which was to go with the plain oak. Don't try to mix it up with quartz and oak and all this stuff. Just make it oak, and I think it works out pretty well. The other thing I've been doing down here is preparing the floor, so I think I'm gonna go with a deep slate floor. That's kind of what I've been doing right now. Been doing it a little bit on stream as well. I've been putting in a bit of a textured deep slate floor. The plan is still, I'm not sure actually if I mentioned this last episode, the plan for down here is to flood all this all the way up to that lantern right there. And that's still the plan, but I still want to have a floor down here with some lights that is a nice little design. We might even put some seagrass down here once it's all flooded. I think that could be a pretty cool little effect. But I will come back to doing some more of that in just a minute. I want to show you all some of the other progress updates that I've been doing, and the main one has been over in this area, trying to get some more storage. You can sort of see, you can't really see it necessarily from the different item frames, but I've been trying to fill in some of these storage areas a little bit better because I haven't really done much of that. So we're getting close to all the bulk storage areas, having stuff filled in. I did fill in moss. I still need to put a little moss block right there, but I went out, got snow, blue ice, mushroom blocks, all that good stuff to put in the storage system. I did figure out that the flow, at least down to the 3rd level, does work because I accidentally dropped some items into the hopper chain that didn't go into any of these chests, and it ended up down in our multi-item sort of the Tango Tech design that we have on the 3rd level. So we definitely know that works. And the other thing, if I hop through here, grab some of my rockets, and we can run on out of here, is I've been doing a little bit of work on the farmland. I had some crops that were trampled, so I had to go through. We did some free all the cows redemptions on stream, so I had to go through and deal with some of that. I've been putting trap doors along all like the water, the little water sources. Oh, I missed one right there apparently. That didn't have one already. And I think I worked a little bit at one point. This may have even been before last episode. I worked on the wall. I can't remember if I mentioned this or not, but we worked on the wall over there a little bit and connected it up all the way. You can sort of see how it connects up there now. So all of that stuff is good to go. I make little tiny progress updates here and there to the world in between episodes. I don't think it's stuff that necessarily needs to be shown, but I at least wanted to let you all know that those have been happening. Anyways, the goal of today's episode, of course, is to be working on the hallway that we started last episode and to finish it up in today's episode. So we want to get the floor in. We want to start flooding it. Flooding it will be super easy. But then I want to get those melon and pumpkin farms installed and hooked up. And I also want to make sure that we can get, I think we're going to put those on this side. I'm pretty sure because that's where the storage is at. And then actually we'll probably just hook it up to either this or a water elevator of some kind. I'm not entirely certain yet. I might have to make some changes to the sugarcane one. And then on this side, we're going to put in a cactus farm, which does not take very long. Cactus farms are some of the easiest farms to make, but I want to get that all hooked up, put it into here, we'll probably just feed this into the same bubble elevator and hopper stream that we we've previously had and already installed. So anyways, folks, that is what we're going to be working on today. I'm going to go ahead, continue some more work on the floor. Oh, excuse me, I don't know why I'm having a difficult time speaking today, but I'm going to do some more work on the floor area, get some more details in, and I'll bring you guys back for a progress update in just a minute. All right, well, it's only been a few Minecraft days, but I think I am at a position where I want to start flooding this area down here. But let me show you all the floor down here before I get going with that. So the main thing I've done here with the floor, as you can tell, it's very textured, all different kinds of deep slate. I've been alternating the chiseled deep slate with sea lanterns because I want to make sure it's nice and lit up down here as well. I put some sea lanterns on the sides. We basically have this giant row of polished deep slate stairs, some of the deep slate bricks on the next level in between, and then a whole bunch of texturing in here. And I think it looks pretty good. Maybe it's a little over textured, if that's even a thing to some people. It's definitely a thing to me, but I think it looks pretty cool from this level. And I've also filled in a lot of the sides over here as well, just so that it comes all the way down to the floor. But yeah, this place is definitely filled in. I'm not sure exactly if I should be filling this stuff in before we get these farms done, but I really want to see what it looks like. So we're gonna have to get rid of that beacon at some point as well. We'll do that at a different time, but anyways, without further ado, and before I forget, actually, there's no connected textures pack, I don't believe, for Fabric 1.19.3, so apologies for no connected textures on the glass, but I don't think that's quite out yet by the time I'm recording this video. But anyways, folks, without further ado, I've got 2 water buckets on me. That's basically all you need to fill all this stuff in, right? Yeah, let's get started. Well, as you saw, I'm happy to report the water was not a huge problem. We basically have gone up, I think, 1 or 2 levels below where the hanging lanterns are at. So I think it looks pretty good. This is kind of the vibe I want. Maybe we'll do 1 more layer of water, but outside of that, I think it's pretty much done. I am still a little worried, and the thing I'm worried the most about, I would say, is that having water in the spawn chunks, I think it'll be fine because it's water blocks and not flowing water. But I'm a little worried about the lag that would cause, although, like I said, standing water is probably fine, but I guess we'll have to wait and find out. And I definitely want to put some seagrass and stuff down there at some point. I haven't gone through and bone mealed that quite yet, because the thing I've been working on currently is getting our cactus farm. So I've cleared out some of the area on the right-hand side here. You can sort of see where I've been working on essentially filling out where I think the cactus stuff is going to go. So if we head into here, I'll kind of show you what I'm looking at. Oh man. So the main thing I did is put in exactly where I think the first layer of cacti are going to go. So this is going to be the floor, and then the sand on top, the cactus, and there's going to be fence posts essentially breaking it in between. Basically the most basic cactus farm you can think of. And I also measured out each of the layers. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The idea is 6 layers of cactus, and with 2 wide, I don't even know how many long this is. I think it's going to be a big enough cactus farm for what we really need. But what I'm also going to be trying to do with this, and the reason I'm doing this one first, is that it's a little bit easier instead of the melon and pumpkin farm. I'm going to be trying to have 1 floor down here with some hopper mine carts running around, and then eventually they'll feed into a hopper over here. The hopper will feed into an item elevator because it needs to go up about 2 blocks, I would say, which then will feed into a hopper, which will then go into the hopper train that I can't look at it right now. Or I guess I sort of can. You can see right here where the hopper train is right here. That's where we want to feed all of our cactus into. So It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I need to dig out a little bit of area. I think the first thing I really want to do is get all those rails in and those hopper minecarts, because I think once we do that, we get the floor in, we make sure all that stuff is working, and then it's going to be pretty smooth sailing from there. But it's going to be a challenge. It's definitely going to be a challenge, and we'll see where that leads us. I also need to dig out the back a little bit. We need to have space on all sides for the cactus to be as well. So I gotta dig this this back wall out a little bit, put in a little more wall there. I want to put, I think, this polished deep slate. I have a bunch on me. I want to use that for all the walls, but the main idea right now is just to get the hopper minecart running with the rails, get it into an item elevator, up into the hoppers, and get the first layer of cactus going and see what we can do with that. So I want to try to make some progress on that right now, folks, and I'll bring you all back with another progress update in just a minute. All right, so I am currently in the thick of things. I've had to make a few changes, but I wanted to show you all the progress I've made so far, so you kind of get a general idea of how the redstone is going to work. Okay, so here's the general idea. As you can see, this is the underwater portion here, and this is our flat surface. This is actually where the sand is going to go. Now, if I were to hop down here, I've started to kind of cover it up, but you can see, essentially, there's a whole bunch of rails going back and forth where a hopper minecart is going to go. Over on the side here, we have some redstone. I don't know if I want to open up too much of this. I don't even know if I can really open it up, but the general idea is that there is a redstone system here that's going to power this hopper. So anytime a hopper minecart comes on top of here, it's going to stop, unload all the contents of its hopper minecart, and go on its way. Now, if we go down this way, you will see a similar contraption, and I couldn't show you the full one over there, but it's actually a fairly similar contraption. I was watching a tutorial for this, to the one that I used for the actual hopper with the hopper minecart, except this one is for a dropper elevator. So essentially what happens here, this little redstone circuit will go ahead and power these droppers whenever the hopper unloads into this bottom dropper. It's going to power it up into this hopper. The hopper is going to go into the hopper chain, and the hopper chain is the one that's already connected to all the sugarcane stuff, and so it's just gonna flow right back into that. So overall, the redstone is, like I said, fairly simple, fairly straightforward, and I'm really happy about that. I had to make a few modifications. Like I said, I didn't actually know how I was gonna set up all the cactus stuff in here, and so I had to move all my stuff forward one. I had to make a few other things as well. Let me actually hop on top of here, then I can show you all what we've been doing down here. So the last part of it that I still need to fill in, I actually have the powered rails on me now. I had to go get myself some more powered rails. The idea here is going to be the minecart comes all the way back to here, and once it reaches this point, it springs back into action. It goes all the way back to its starting point. So that way it's going to be continuously running. I juggled with the idea of having a lever for this, but I can't put a lever underwater. And so I'm not really sure where else I would put it. I guess I could put it on the outside of the building. I have some other entrance to get there, but I think for now it's fine to always have this minecart running, because while the cactus are still here, the cactus farm is going to always be running. So we might as well have the minecart always running as well and picking up all of the little cactus that drop. But yeah, pretty straightforward. I'm going to go ahead and just finish filling this in real quick. I'm actually running out of ender pearls, so I need to head to the end soon and grab some more of those as well. I'm leaving this gap open just for now because we don't have a hopper minecart to put in there yet. What I really want to do is get in all of the walls, see what we can do for lighting, and get all of these cactus things ready for cactus. So it needs a block, it needs sand, it needs the fences so that the cactus, when it grows to too tall, will break the second one. And then once we have all that stuff in, we can add in the hopper minecart, actually add in the cactus, and well, then this place will actually be done, at least this side of it. Then we have to go and work on the other side. But like I said, those are my next steps. That's what I'm going to be doing. Let me go ahead and do that, folks, and I'll bring you all back with another progress update in just a minute. All right, y'all, I have some progress to showcase, so let's go ahead and showcase it. So all the way down here, you can see at the very end here, we have ourselves a completed cactus farm. And it actually wasn't too hard to do. The biggest part about it was honestly to put in all the walls and the ceiling and the back area there as well, and to put in those lights there as well. But once we got all that stuff in, just building up each of the cactus areas was pretty darn simple. And as you can see, cactus farms in general are pretty simple. So we just have the fence post in between some of these cacti. So whenever the cactus grows, it'll instantly break and fall down, and a hopper minecart will be at the bottom and collecting all of that. And I spent a little bit of time just hanging out around here, just trying to figure out exactly what the rates are for this. I don't have an exact number per se, but I definitely know it's not terrible. If we look down here, you can actually see, I think this is like 42 before, so we've gained probably, what, 20, 30, 40 cactus already, which is pretty cool. And obviously, the more this farm runs, the more cacti we're going to get. I don't think we're going to have a cactus shortage anytime soon. But now that means that the next part that we need to work on today is over here, and this is the melon and pumpkin farm. And I've been going back and forth at exactly how I want to do this. I'm thinking what we're going to do is go with a lossless design actually, that I'll show you all in just a minute, and just kind of stack it with layers of hopper minecarts and whatnot, which is going to require, you kind of see it in here, it's going to require a lot of powered rails, a lot of redstone. I've actually been using, someone on stream suggested that I use villagers to get redstone since we're running low on redstone, which is a really, really good idea. Of course, we need a whole bunch of note blocks, so I have some, but we need tons of observers and pistons, and that's going to be kind of the main source of materials that I need to gather in order to do this. So it's going to be a little bit before we actually get started, I think, on this farm design. The other thing that we still need to do in this hallway to actually get it complete, well, one, we eventually need to take out this beacon, but two, you can kind of see right there, the ceiling is not completed. It's still stone up there. So what we also really need to do is get into that ceiling and take out all that stone up there and replace it with the polished deep slate. So that's something else I want to do in between now and the next time we see each other. But I think, folks, I'm going to go ahead and get started. We have a lot of materials to gather. We have a lot of small progress updates to make. And hopefully whenever I finish those, I'll bring you all back with a more complete update for how this farm tunnel is looking. So I guess we are back exactly where we left off, believe it or not. I've got a whole bunch more materials here, as I was mentioning just a little bit ago, but I've also made some progress here on the melon and pumpkin side. You can tell I filled in all the sides. I've actually filled in all the tops of all the areas now, so that's all good to go. And I have another little thing I want to show you in just a minute, but I've started to look at doing the bottom layer down here, so we can somehow possibly get our way. Oh, you know what I did? That's what I did. Yeah, that's right. So just for now, just to help us get in and out, create a little barrier to get into the glass, which is pretty cool. I have the same cart design coming into or picking up stuff down here that I do for the cactus farm. Believe it or not, you can actually put water on top of rails as well. So I'm gonna be putting some water stuff right here as well. Hopefully that doesn't get taken out in a future update, but it'll just kind of float here, and that's going to help us a lot with actually planting the seeds, the melon and pumpkin seeds and whatnot. The other thing that I also need to mention is I wasn't sure how to do the hopper chain for this. So the way that we're doing all the farms on this side, so we have individual layers, 4 layers actually here, melon and pumpkin farms, and each one of them is going to have their own rail system, just like this layer has. The problem is, all those hopper minecarts have to go to some sort of central system that then carries all of the items over to this hopper chain and puts it back into the hopper system with everything else. So I was confused at first as to how I wanted to do that. But we are going to do that. It's over here somewhere. Down here. So I actually have a little hopper chain that's going to come up all the way over here. We kind of did the reverse of what we did over there. The minecart hopper thing is actually going to be over here. And because of that, all of the, at least for, I think, anything above this level, the other 3 levels, it's going to be over here. And so all the hopper minecarts are actually going to come over here, which is going to make my life a little easier. And then this hopper actually goes down into a hopper chain that's underneath of there and heads over into the same dropper elevator system that we have on the other side. So that'll make things a little bit easier, hopefully, and I'm glad I've at least found a solution for that. So the other thing that I actually found a solution for that I wasn't exactly sure what to do with for a while is the bubble elevator. So if you guys remember, this bubble elevator, right, used to go into this hopper chain right here. The problem is that with melons and pumpkins, the chests for those are over there. So we need to find a way to bring this bubble elevator. At first I was going to move this bubble elevator all the way over here, and then I realized I didn't have to do that. I could literally just have a little water stream right here. So I have water stream coming all the way over here into a hopper that then leads into where the melons and pumpkins are, so it can feed directly in. I'm very happy that I found a solution, and I guess, by the way, sugarcane, cactus, and melons and pumpkins will all go into this side, and it'll all come this way instead of like trying to divide it up or something like that. This is the easiest method, I would say, for doing this. So Obviously, probably not the most efficient, but I was really happy that I came up with that idea because I had no idea what else I was going to do. So that'll work out pretty well for us, though. Like I said earlier, though, I do have the materials together now for a melon and pumpkin farm, and I want to get started actually on building each individual layer. It's the last thing that we have in today's episode, and I want to get this thing done ASAP. So without further ado, folks, I have got all of these materials here. We've got plenty of things to be doing. Let's go do them. Okay, well, folks, as you can see, I actually built all of it. Took me a few hours, I think, to actually put in all the components once I actually got all the materials. I actually had to go out and get more gold and whatnot for rails as well. But as you can see, this is what it looks like, and this is the kind of format I wanted to go with. I wanted it, like many of the other things around here, to be sort of an open redstone sort of thing where you can see all the functioning components of it. As you can tell, we're using the lossless design. I believe it's this Mango's design. I followed a Kmon tutorial for this, actually, just to make sure I got everything correct. But I think it was originally Mango. Those of you in the comment section can correct me if I'm wrong as well. But we have 4 layers here. 1, 2, and 2 below the water down there as well. You can see all the carts running around having a good old time. So, and basically the way that this works has to do with pistons, observers, and like essentially stacking these sort of crops every other block, so they're touching diagonally. So the pumpkins are melons, and by the way, we did alternate these melon pumpkin. Once one spawns on that dirt block, the observer actually measures this little stem right here, and it observes whenever there's an update to it, and it will automatically fire these pistons, and it will go ahead and break all of the pumpkins or melons. So I believe it's 100% lossless, and it's a pretty dang good farm. So I'm really happy with how this has turned out. I did just put a few like layers of blocks at the very top up there. Nothing fancy there. But I think it showcases everything pretty well. And just to show you all the sort of progress that we've made in terms of melons and pumpkins that we've already gotten, what I'm about to show you is pretty much completely empty when I first started everything. And now we have over 4 stacks of pumpkins here. And I think, is it this one? We have 5.5 stacks of melon slices. I'm going to have to keep an eye on some of these, especially the melon slices. They can fill up pretty dang quickly. We do have 15 double chests here, but with how long I hope to have this world, that could be going for quite a while. So, and it could actually fill up our chests. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that throughout the progress of this world, and we'll see what happens with that. But anyways, folks, that's it in terms of the progress I wanted to make today. I think we've made a ton of good progress. I don't know if I wanted to put some designs on the back wall yet there or anything like that, but once that's done, this whole room is honestly going to be done, which I'm pretty excited about. It's a small project, but a project that we've needed nonetheless. So without further ado, folks, there's one last thing to do in today's video, and that is the comment of the day. So today's comment is from a user by the name of Carson Captures, who said, "Hey, love your content, bro. I was in your Minecraft stream earlier and saw that you were able to quickly turn on and off your shaders." By that, they mean that. I can turn them quickly on and off with just a touch of a button. I was wondering how you do that. I have the same shaders as you, complimentary V4. For those who don't know, who aren't in the streams for Shader Sunday or anything like that, I typically use complimentary shaders for both screenshots as well as for general gameplay stuff whenever I am using shaders. Wanted to include this though because, like I was saying, I think at the beginning of today's episode, I do use some mods in this world, and one of those mods is Iris. Which Iris is the shaders mod that I use with the fabric instance that I'm actually running. So, and with the Iris mod, you can bind a hotkey. You can go to your, I think it's somewhere in options, controls, keybinds. It's somewhere down here. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, nope, not right there. Yeah, down here, Iris at the very bottom, toggle shaders. I have it just as the period button on my numpad, just because that's the easiest for me to use. But yeah, it's super handy. It's super handy. It's like there are times where I just want to turn on shaders. I just press the button and then it works, which is pretty cool. So I do highly recommend, just in general, if you're able to use some optimization mods for your world. Minecraft vanilla itself is not particularly optimized. I know Mojang tries, but there are great mods out there made by some great people who really help with that. So I do highly recommend it. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, though, I like to keep my gameplay vanilla. I think it's great for you guys as an audience. You guys understand at least most, if not everything, of what I'm doing. There's no hidden secrets, hidden tricks, anything like that gameplay wise that might be a surprise to you. And in general, I just like playing vanilla Minecraft. I think there's a whole bunch of things to do in this game that I don't really need modded for, and a whole bunch of things that I've just never done before that I would love to explore. So that's why I play vanilla. Even though I'd use some mods, it's all vanilla gameplay. But thank you for the comment, Carson, and thank you everyone for all the comments as usual in the comment section below. But anyways, folks, that's going to wrap things up here for today. Thank you all so much for watching today's episode of Survival Heights Season 2. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like. If you're new around here, feel free to subscribe as well to stay updated whenever I have new videos of this series or any other series here on my channel. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.